Hey Kyle, it's Dr. Scott. Has some feedback for you on your second essay. There'll be time in class today and on Thursday for you to ask me questions and kind of follow up on some of my feedback. So I'm just going to kind of walk through and kind of from beginning to end kind of talk about what I thought of the essay. There's 4 major criteria for the assignment. One is the thesis statement, another is the organization, like how you've arranged ideas, and then there's your ability to integrate sources, and then there's also using details to support your ideas. As far as thesis statement goes, I thought you did a really strong job. Like, you have a pretty clear thesis statement here, so I'm pretty happy with that. The yellow highlighting, that's sentences or phrases where I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. You talk about Portsmouth, Ohio, but then you talk about a painting, and we're not. I think you have to kind of assume that your reader is not going to know exactly what it is you're talking about, and so like you can. Looking deeper into the flood wall murals in Portsmouth, Ohio, shows us that it's filled with a rich historical background or tradition. That would make it a little bit clearer. This down here, I wasn't sure what you meant by growth for people's character. That was a little confusing to me, and I wasn't sure. But the main criteria, thesis statement, it's solid. Like, it makes a lot of sense. And what I love is that you kind of organized your essay by the ideas and not by this mural and then this other mural. So I thought you did a really solid job there. Where I see areas where you need to do some work is in using details to support your thoughts. Like, that is something that throughout this essay you'll say, yeah, there's like facial expressions, but you never really kind of get in there and kind of describe a facial expression. You'll just say it's fear or whatnot. And you have to do that work of kind of rolling up your sleeves and describing what that facial expression looks like. Just like with the colors, like you say that the colors are vibrant, but you're telling me and you're not really showing me. So, excuse me. Details needed throughout. And usually I'd say, like, hey, just pick one paragraph and do it, but it being such an important issue for this essay and just to improve your writing, I'd like to see all 3 of the paragraphs include more detail. Okay? So there's no rewriting, there's no cutting paragraphs, really, that's needed, but there is, like, adding detail to the paragraphs you do have. I really love that you come back to these ideas, like you explain, like, how this equals pride at the end of the paragraph, and I really appreciate that, and so thank you for doing that. Hey, you noticed something about the Brooklyn Dodgers? Yeah, I noticed that too. Hold on one second, I got something to show you. Yeah, how about that? How about them Dodgers? Hot damn, walk-off home run, Dodger Stadium. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, where were we? Okay, that's right, that's where we were. Alright, so, in your essay, yeah, including more detail, especially when you have a paragraph that's about fine detail, but you don't actually have any fine detail in it, like you're just telling me that there's fine details that mean something, that matters. Like, it doesn't mean you have to describe everything in a bunch of detail, but you do need to provide some examples to kind of support what it is you're saying. Alright, yeah, and I give you a comment here, and you'll be able to see this when you take a look at your feedback, but I give you a comment over here about facial expressions. Got to describe those in a bit of detail. When you're talking about the 1937 flood, but then also like Jackie Robinson, Branch Rickey, like there's a lot of smiles and stuff like that, or like he looks very determined or something like that. You have to kind of get in there and describe what that looks like. A couple of the things that are missing from this essay. One is organization. Like, I don't see a reason why you're going from one paragraph to another, and that's something that is important for this assignment. So is there a reason why you end with facial expressions? And before that have fine detail, and then before that have colors? Like, why go from colors to detail to facial expressions? There should be some kind of reason for that. And if you're not sure, think of one, and then transition between the paragraphs to demonstrate how they're connected. So if, like one is the most effective use, or the most effective method Dafford uses to kind of inspire pride is the use of color, cool, do that. If it's the least, you want to start there with the least effective, like, that's cool. But there needs to be some kind of explanation of, like, how the paragraphs are organized. Those are the main criteria for the assignment. The minor criteria for the assignment, you're supposed to integrate a couple sources. I didn't see that. and I also didn't see an image. You're supposed to integrate at least one image and give it a caption. So that's some small stuff. The big stuff you've got, Kyle, like you've got a solid thesis statement, and you have your paragraphs are structured pretty effectively. So you have a great kind of foundation to begin with. Your revision is going to be due Tuesday the 24th, so that's a week from today. We'll talk grade here in just a second. Let me pause the video and get that set up. Alright, so let me walk this over here so you can see where you're at. Thesis statement, good job. Solid. Supporting details, need some work there. Organization and transitions, didn't see it just yet. Source integration, didn't see that just yet. And as far as the other criteria, MLA format, you need a list of works cited. You also need a visual that's integrated into your essay. Alright, so that's where you're at right now. So you're close. I give it a 1.5 out of 2 out of that stupid 2-point scale. So you're close on this one. If you got questions, ask me in class. And I can chat with you later this week too. Alright, Kyle, that's it for now.